Hello, everybody. It is 2 o'clock on Tuesday. That means it's Instagram Live with me, Cyber PR, Ariel Hyatt. I am really, oh, Sarah, what's up, girl? So happy to see you. I'm going to wait for some people to log on. Hi, Ron. And then I'm going to introduce today's very special guest. He is Eli Lev. Hi, Rochelle. Hey, Travis. Eli Lev is an artist based out of Washington, D.C., who I had the pleasure of working with a couple of years ago. He hired Cyber PR to help him with executing and arranging a marketing plan, which we call total tune-ups around here. And the thing that I love about Eli Lev is he not only took everything that we laid out for him and did it and killed it, and he became, in about 18 months, and he'll tell you about his journey, a fully sustainable musician making a full-time living. But the thing that I love about Eli is the way that he understands community and understands how to bring your fans along for a journey, which is rare. I know a lot of artists kind of struggle with that. Eli does it very naturally and in a super cool way. So I'm going to have him join. I also asked him to perform a song today. So he's going to be ready at hand to do that. And then I love to chat with Eli and you guys all about what's on your mind these days. How are you surviving in COVID? How are you making money as an artist? Do you have any marketing questions, PR questions, general questions for me and for Eli? We will be on hand here to answer. So I'm just asking Eli to join us. And there he is. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to be here.
It's so nice to see you.
A little bit.
So, what do you have planned for us? What are you going to play?
Well, today I released a brand new lyric video.
Fantastic.
So I'm really excited about it. I've been learning how to make my own lyric videos with Adobe Premiere Pro. I know you can like go on Fiverr or go on Upwork or have somebody do them for you, but I just caught the end of what you were saying. So thank you for saying such kind words about me and my music. But yeah, I like to be on brand, on story. And I don't really think anybody can do that and knows that better than I do. So I started making my own lyric videos, and they've actually been like the top videos on my YouTube channel, which has been really, really cool.
Oh, wow. I saw one that posted a few weeks ago, or maybe I just discovered it a few weeks ago. So when we get to chatting, I would love to hear about the learning curve on that.
Oh, there was a learning curve. Yes, indeed.
Yes. It's always painful when you're first stumbling around on a new platform. And then you get it, and it's like riding a bike. So it's fantastic.
Exactly. But yeah, the new lyric video is called To the Stars, and I'd love to sing the song for you today.
Fabulous.
Cool. So this is about, it's definitely like a cyber PR kind of song. It's like harnessing all your energy and all your creative resource and just like blasting off into the direction of your dreams, into the universe. So for me, that was music, and definitely have you to thank for that. And kind of wrote a song about it, and it's called To the Stars. And here we go. Ready to rock?
Amazing. Amazing.
All right, let's do this. Ashes spring forth. I could be a little less, I could be a little more. Oh, 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 oh. Spinning round on a Ferris wheel, reaching out the window, trying to feel something, anything, yeah. Look looking out over cityscapes. Man, I'm just trying to escape on a rocket ride into the night. I'm singing now, woo! Ashes, spring fall. I could be a little less, I could be a little more. Fire, control. From the center of the earth to the stars, I'm singing now, woo! From the center of the earth to the stars, I'm blowing the embers, my flame will burn. I must have looked out in the starry skies 1,000 times, but never as I am tonight. I must have lived and died 1,000 times, but never as I am tonight. And I know it won't be easy leaving the surface behind. My flame is rising up out into the night. I'm singing now, woo! Ashes, spring fall. I could be a little less, I could be a little more. Fire, control. From the center of the earth to the stars, I'm singing now, woo! From the center of the earth to the stars, I'm singing now, woo! From the center of the earth to the stars, I'm singing now, whoa! Oh, I'm singing now, whoa! From the center of the earth to the stars.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was lovely.
Thanks.
Lovely. And now I can't wait to go see the lyric video, which I will do the moment we're off this stream. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I have a big list of things I'd love to chat with you about today. Obviously, the primary one being you've been making your money on the road. Not only all over this country, but you did your first European tour pretty recently. And I know you had a full summer prepared and ready to go. And now here you are at home.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a change of circumstances, but yeah, just kind of rolling with the new normal or the new reality or the new weird, whatever you want to call it, as best as I can. And yeah, I mean, I had the whole year set up for a cross country tour and a West Coast tour and a Southern tour, even a tour in the UK at the end of this year. But all of that has been kind of, I don't know, postponed indefinitely, you could say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So have you gotten out ahead of yourself as far as like a strategy? Have you been sort of taking it 1 week at a time? How has it looked as far as like, I think there is one thing I want to say before you answer that. And I don't know how it hit you. I'd love to hear, but I don't know that a lot of us moved into strategy super quickly. I think we had to take a minute and mourn, freak out, adjust, whatever it is, you know, however you wanted to process this sort of new reality. So I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I feel like we all kind of deal with things differently. I deal with things by doing. So actually, like when all my live shows are being canceled, I just went immediately headfirst into live streaming. So my first my first week live streaming, I was on Facebook Personal on Tuesday, Instagram on Wednesday, Twitter on Thursday, YouTube on Friday, my Facebook page on Saturday, and my Patreon on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's how I deal with things. I deal with things by just like doing, and you know, I was used to sharing my music with as many folks as possible, like, you know, as much as I could. So I wanted to keep that going with my community. Since then, I've kind of like tapered down a little bit. I just wanted to try and figure out what was out there. I think in the beginning, people were very keen on like, oh my gosh, this is lockdown mode. How am I going to get my music, and how can I connect with people? And also, how can I support musicians? So that first kind of initial rush has been kind of tapered off in the last, you know, 2 or 3 weeks. So now it's really about honing and creating the most value out of those live streams, I think, rather than just kind of like, you know, as many as I could do. Now it's more about like quality over quantity. So I'm figuring out, okay, I'll do, you know, bi-weekly live streams. So I know that can mean 2 different things, but 1 live stream every 2 weeks.
Right. Okay.
For my free street team, my Levitator street team. And I'll do 1 live stream every 2 weeks for my Patreon community. So that way it's more of like a, okay, Eli's going to be on this. It only happens every 2 weeks. We should get there. I'll have time to like send out an email blast and like post to make sure people are hyped about it, rather than just like, you know, live streaming all the time and people maybe missing it. So that's been like kind of like a change of strategy. But yeah, I mean, right since my last show was, I think, March 3rd. So it's been 3 months now without any live shows.
Right.
So yeah, I've been just kind of trying to adjust since then.
Yeah. So when you did that experiment of every platform and jumping on, is there a platform that came out as the winning one, or are you going to be simulcasting? What was the verdict?
Yeah, I looked into simulcast, and I didn't go with that because I really liked creating a space and like a room for like my people, and I wanted. I'm
laughing because now I'm only hearing "Making Space." Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, Making Space. Our first single together. Oh my gosh, how far we've come. Yeah, it was. I think it was. You know, I looked into it and I was like, I really just want to be able to like be with my people on that platform. And I want to understand what each platform needs, because there's really just different personalities to every platform. Twitch is very different than your Facebook personal page, which is very different than YouTube, which is totally different than Periscope. So there's different communities on different platforms. And I really wanted to kind of, you know, connect with different people on different kind of outlets. So I didn't do the crowdcast. I didn't do the multiple streaming way. Instead, I think that the best way for me, like, to start was on my Facebook personal page, because those are my friends and family.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, that's where most of my support comes in. So my personal Facebook page is like my best time of the week to get like people just being like, keep going, Eli, you got this. Whether it's a PayPal or Venmo tip. I've just been so lucky and so blessed for people to continue to support me in that way. And since the beginning, where there was maybe like 10 or 20 people giving me a smaller amount of tips, now it's less people supporting me with more amounts, because they're just like, I'm on the live streams, I'm supporting you, here's you know, here's something that can help you in your music career.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, it's been really interesting how it's slowly changed just in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Thank you, Diana. Diana's here. She's amazing. She's like, I don't know, one of my best supporters, and she's there on my Instagram live streams, my Facebook live streams, and it's awesome. So great to see you here.
Very cool.
And yeah, I think I've just been really blessed that way. And for example, though, Periscope, Twitter, I found that it doesn't really make sense for me to do like an hour live stream. I'll just jump on for 15, 20 minutes, do like kind of like a discovery live stream for people there, and then just kind of call it a show. So each platform has their own kind of personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think on Twitter, people are, you know, they want the next tweet. So I think it's very hard to hold people's attention on a platform where the whole thing is about the fast hit, right?
Exactly.
So that's really interesting to note. I've been considering the multiple stream platform just because my weakest channel is actually Instagram. And so here we are on Instagram Live, and I've got thousands of people on these other channels. So, but that is something that I think every artist should experiment with, and to understand. I like that you always, you learn by doing and failing and not being afraid to test. And I think that that's a fantastic way to do it, because if you don't do it that way, then you'll never know. And I know a lot of artists fight that perfectionism of feeling really uncomfortable if they don't know exactly what it's going to be like, they don't try it. So I love that you did that, and then you figured out sort of what your lane is going to be, so to say, for at least the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, my greatest successes are like my biggest failures, because then I know, okay, I'm not going to do that, and then I know how to, go from there.
Right.
So really, me going out and trying all these different time frames and different social media platforms was just a way to understand, which would be the best way for me. And sometimes I would have a live stream on Twitter, and maybe like 4 people would show up, for like 20 minutes and 30 minutes, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And they actually loved the show. It was amazing. I got some new fans.
See, that's the thing I always love. I think we focus so much on the number. There's
Right.
only 4 people. Well, if
Right.
one of those 4 people becomes a super fan
Right.
over the next year, I often don't get upset. I think I've been watching some really massive live streams this last week. There was a Beanie Man live stream from Jamaica. There was 750,000 people on it. Like, Instagram broke, basically. It was the only thing. But I think we get accustomed to seeing that, and then we think that that's normal. Well, that's normal for an artist that's like been globally touring for 20 years, but that's not, and was signed to a major label and had massive hits and right. So I think we have to really, really take into account, what is normal versus what is not normal. And 750,000 people, that ain't normal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like where I am in my career, it's like if I play for 2 people and I make 2 people like really, really happy that day, that's still like huge for me. Like being able to play my songs and connect with folks is awesome. And I think you're right about the numbers. It's like it's more about quality, like how much can we connect with good folks, and how can we really have that authentic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That authentic connection with people. That's what I've always kind of like gone for. And whether it's 2, 4, 5, 10, or 20, or there's like 400 folks that tuned in on this live stream I did for a friend's graduation class. I think one of the students is here in Ohio. And there's 150 people tuning in on YouTube, and maybe like 250 more on Adobe Connect. And to me, it was the same show because I've done it so much, because I'm, understand how to connect with folks. It was like, okay, I know how to do this, whether it's 5 people watching or 500 people watching. I'm going to sing my songs and give off whatever, good vibes I can. And that's the number one reason why we do this as musicians. So.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit. Sounds like you've been using your quarantini time to learn, is it Adobe? How are you doing the lyric videos?
Pro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I got the whole Adobe suite. So I've got Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, a whole bunch of good stuff. Illustrator. There's like a student rate. It's like super cheap. Student or teacher rate. And yeah, I love figuring out new platforms. I use Canva a lot just for basic kind of design, but Adobe Premiere Pro is awesome because you get to get in there and choose your text and choose your scenes. And so To the Stars is space, like obviously rocket ships. And so there's this really cool night sky and this rocket ship kind of blasting off into the stars, and this like kind of a look out into the earth from a spaceship, and then just bringing up the different texts in different ways. It was a lot of fun. I'm getting better and better at them, but the better I get, the more time I spend on them, because the more I can do. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I think it's great. I love learning new things, and it's been a lot of fun. So
Very cool. And now you've got, now that can always be a tool in your arsenal for when you have a new song. And I love it. You don't have to rely on people once you learn. I mean, that's why we are Teach a Man to Fish company. Once you learn something, that's yours forever to
yeah.
do. And it sounds like it's working out really, really well as far as response and the most views on YouTube. There you go. There's your market research right there.
Yeah, I mean, people were just, I do like some people will see my sponsored ads on Instagram just for my music on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go to the Spotify song, they'll listen to it, and they'll like it. And the first thing they do is go to YouTube and type in that song name and lyrics. So it took me a while to realize that was happening. I would get messages from people in, India, Indonesia, South Africa, Argentina. It's like, is there a lyric video for this? And I was like, no, there isn't. So I saw that demand, especially for folks who English isn't their first language. They really want to see the words and kind of like sing along and understand what's happening. So I was like, cool, I'll do a lyric video. So my first lyric video was Walking Away. And people loved that, jumped out to like one of my top videos this year. And that was just me creating it on Adobe Premiere Pro. It took me maybe like a couple days. But yeah, since then I've done a lyric video for Anywhere We Can Go and now To the Stars. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So talk to me about your ad strategy. I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you've been implementing, and it's interesting to hear. I always call that we call it the fan journey. And you have to understand your fan journey to understand how fans are coming to you. And it sounds like this Spotify ad campaign that you launched is actually showing you exactly what that fan journey is. And that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like a lot of people who are tuning in right now on Instagram probably just got connected with my music from a little story ad, 15-second story ad, where it's like, check out this song, and they liked it, gave my Instagram a follow, and then check out more music. That also brings up organic traffic in YouTube. My YouTube has been doing awesome. It's been really exciting doing my live streams there. So every Friday at 5 p.m., I do a Folk Friday live stream. And you think about it, if 10 people watch my hour-long live stream on YouTube, so that's like 60 minutes of just watch time times 10. So that's like 600 minutes of watch time. How many times does somebody have to watch a 3-minute music video of mine to equal that amount of watch time? Right. So it's just, and then I will put out like a new video on Tuesday, a new lyric video. So the watch time is almost like exponentially compounded because I do the live videos where more than 10 people watch, which is great. And then I have new content every week. So that's been something that I have control over. I don't have a lot of control over a lot of things these days. So
that's the truth, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been working on. And then I have lots of different types of fans. So some of my fans are in high school in the Midwest. Some of my fans are, grandmothers in the South. Some of my fans are Spanish speakers in Spain. So each one of those fan bases have different ways that they like to interact with me and my music, and me providing that outlet for them has been really important. So some folks aren't on Facebook and they don't want to have anything to do with social media. That's why I really concentrate on my mailing list. So when I have a new release or anything like that, I'll be able to do an email blast out as well. Also, while those folks aren't on Facebook, they can definitely tune into a YouTube live stream because you don't need an account to tune into a YouTube show. A lot of my fans are on Instagram and they don't check their emails. They don't want anything coming in their email address. So they just want to like connect with my Instagram and see my videos. And yeah, Diana just put up a comment, which is true. I ask input from my communities on what would best serve them. So I did that for my live streams on what time and what day.
Yeah, so I want to read it. Like an expert in marketing, Eli also spends time polling his fans about what's working, asking questions, and that often sets him apart. And this is sort of what I was alluding to before you jumped on this live, is about really understanding that fans are so important. They should be asked what's working, what's not working. I mean, you're in a relationship with these, with your fans, and having the hubris to just give and wonder how that's going is not a strategy. It's just,
Yeah, I love it. And the other thing is it takes pressure off you. Like, you don't have to be the all-knowing, like, this is what my fans want. Like, just ask them and they'll tell you. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to figure out which one's better. You can ask folks which one's better. I remember sending a bunch of my music videos to you in the beginning and be like, which one of these, strikes a chord better, and which is, because I couldn't tell, because I'm, the creative
you're too
artist.
close. You don't know your baby's ugly,
Right.
as I like to say.
And you told me one of my intros, you're like, this is way too long, and I think if somebody saw this in the industry, then they'd probably skip it. And you're definitely right. Like, the first 10 seconds of any kind of product is super important. Any media is important. So we changed that, and I'm super happy with it. So.
Yeah. And again, the other thing I think that we should always keep in mind is just because I'm in the industry, my opinion, I'm not Moses from the mountain, right? I'm not coming down with a tablet full of answers, right? It's an opinion.
Yeah.
It's what, so again, I think that's, Derek Sivers wrote about this years ago, and it really also sticks out. Yes, ask your fans, but one fan should not, or one hater really is what he was getting at, should not dictate what you end up doing with all of your marketing. And he had this incredible photograph that he added to the blog post, which was a pizza shop near his house in New York. And this pizza shop door had all of these signs, and it was hilarious. Like, every time the pizza shop owner or employees got in a fight with someone, they would end up putting a sign, like, no shoes, you must not wear flip-flops, whatever. And there was like all these crazy, like, no credit cards after midnight, crazy stuff. And it was like, probably one unpleasant thing ended up dictating. And that can happen too. Someone gives you like feedback. It's only feedback, and take it, leave it, use it, don't use it. I think if 20 people give you the same bit of feedback, or if there's some sort of scientific reasoning, that's another thing. But often when people are working with us, they want to know, like, what do we think, what does my team think? And yes, right. It's important what we think, but what's more important is, what do your fans think? And right. And how do you feel? I mean, I think the worst thing about Spotify and playlists in general is people are now making music that is only to get the most amount of streams.
Yeah.
And you have to begin to ask yourself, is that really art, when you're adjusting it so that it fits this bizarre formula, like, oh, lyric has to come in on the one because you only have 3 seconds before someone's right. Whatever. I mean, if you're malleable and able to adjust your music like that, good on you. But if that's not part of your artistic vision, that's okay too. So I think that, you definitely have to take these things into consideration. So good question. I'm loving this advice. What would you release first, your music video or a lyric video?
Yeah, the cool thing is that with one song, you can have like 4 videos on YouTube. And the coolest thing is that each of those videos are going to connect to the other video. So for example, you could release an official music video before the song comes out, so that the only place that people could listen to the song and watch the music video is on YouTube. That way you get a bunch of views and like a bunch of engagement, then the song comes out on all platforms, and those two feed off each other. When the song comes out on the platform, you can also just have a still shot image and then just the audio of the song. A lot of distribution folks like CD Baby and DistroKid have the option of distributing to YouTube. I don't use that option anymore because I like to put up my own audio and my own kind of video, because that way I can put what I want in the description. I can make that part of a playlist that goes directly to my channel.
Right.
So I've stopped doing that and just kind of put up my own still image with the audio. And you can have a behind the scenes of the music video with the photo, and then like maybe like a month later, or after the song comes out, then you can put out the lyric video for folks who are really into the song and really want to get the lyrics. So you've got 4 videos for one song, all on your YouTube channel, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And then one thing I've seen some of our artists do as well is if you've got a song and you want to breathe even more life into it, you can do an acoustic version.
Yep.
You can do a duet version. You can come up with other ways to frame something that's working for you.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I love that idea. And, it just because a song is sort of getting stale for you, it does not mean, there's so many of your audience that haven't met you yet. And so when you bring out a new version of something, you're re-inspiring. Something that was very interesting about COVID, I read an article, a lot of the major labels realized in early days when streaming started going up, when everyone was stuck at home, is people started revisiting their old classic favorites.
Yep.
Like, things that have been in their libraries forever, all of a sudden they're home. And the major labels, obviously, they can see it's exactly what Eli does, that you see your statistics and realize we've got something here. So they started making videos to visualize songs that didn't have, or, had old videos. And that was another way.
Wow.
Back in the day, we used to call that putting out the limited edition box set, right? It's like repackage it again. So that's the oldest trick in the books. Remastered version, something we found in the vault, whatever that's going to be. But that drove so many sales. So it's really interesting when an independent artist can take a little page out of a $1 million marketing idea and apply it. I love that. So this is a conversation for all of us. If anyone has a question for Eli about marketing or how he's doing stuff, please. I'd love to talk a little bit about your Patreon. I love the way you rolled out your Patreon and actually use your lovely email that you sent to your whole tribe as an example to show our other clients, like, this is how you can authentically ask people. How has your Patreon taken off a little bit more? Any changes since COVID? What's been happening there?
Yeah, so about a few months ago, Patreon sent an email out to I think probably most of the creators, and they said that their data was showing that taking away the $1 tier actually helped channel growth. So I had probably about maybe 30%, 40% of my Patreons were $1 tier folks. My initial thought on that was just like, I want people to connect with my music. It doesn't matter what they pay. I just want them to be connected with me and to join me on this journey. So when I started Patreon, numbers were very important to me. I was like, once I get 50 patrons, then I'll release my first album, All Rose East. And I did, and it was a huge success. Then I was like, once I get 100 patrons, I'm going to release Way Out West. And I did, and it was awesome. And then after that email came out, I just reassessed things and thought it was probably going to be more important concentrating more time on people who are really invested in my music and giving them more value. And if I lost, some dollar subscribers here and there, then that was a byproduct of it. So since probably about 3 months ago, I took out the dollar tier on my Patreon, and now I just have $5 for a song and video every month. So an exclusive Patreon only song and video is released. I have a $20 tier, which is like a merchandise club. So like any new merchandise I send directly to people, and they get a really cool VIP kind of thank you pack when they join. I have a $50 a month tier, which is like a connect with me one-on-one live stream, consultation, hangout, good vibe session, whatever people like. And then I have a $100 tier, which is like my adventure angels, which are like, they have a seat at the table of Eli Lev music and help me with a bunch of stuff and get the behind the scenes look. So I only have 4 tiers now, which makes it a lot easier for people to choose. $5.
Because you haven't overwhelmed them with choice, frankly.
Yeah. And most people will just look do I want the $5, $20, $50? Then it takes, a special person who's been with me for a long time to usually jump on the $100 tier. But yeah, so since then, an interesting thing has happened. My Patreon's total has gone down a little bit, but my income has gone up maybe 25, 30% since I took away.
There you go. There you go. So in my book, Crowd Start, I talk exactly about this, which is when you're launching a crowdfunding campaign, which in a way, a Patreon account is a prolonged crowdfunding campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to cheapen. You don't want to have a $1 or a $3 thing. It's special what you're doing. You're taking the time to create something just for them. Right. And I always said, do not put a $1 option after your credit card processing fee. Right. You're getting 50 cents anyway. Right. It's so I love that. And it's really interesting. So what you basically did was the people that were paying $1, they're probably still following you on social media. They're still on your newsletter list. But you managed to increase your income, which that's super, super interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't necessarily know it was going to go down like that. But it's been really cool. A lot of things that has been helping that has just been my live streaming. So the more I can connect with people one-on-one and face-to-face and kind of take their requests and, give them positivity throughout their week, obviously that brings a lot of value to them and they want to connect more with my journey. So that's been very helpful too. And then add on to that, my very simple tier structure now on Patreon, and I think that helps too. So yeah, it's almost to 1,000 a month on Patreon, which for me right now is my saving grace because I have no other income. So right. Patreon and just virtual tips is kind of what we're working with right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing. That's really incredible that just that money is there and guaranteed. So I want to go back to your ad strategy on Instagram. How much money are you investing? Are you doing something weekly? Do you kind of jump in and jump out? How are you?
I do it per day.
Okay.
About depends on the day, but usually it's around $10 a day.
Okay.
On my Instagram. It's through Facebook ads, and you can just choose 15-second Instagram story ads. They just are directed to my Spotify artist profile. And yeah, that way I've got new listeners on Spotify, new discoveries on Instagram. They go to YouTube and check out the lyric video. We get to hang out in these live streams on Instagram, which is awesome. And it's really just a constant flow of fresh ears. Because as artists and as musicians, it's I just got tired of spending thousands of dollars on my music that isn't going anywhere. So really it's if I'm going to put all that effort and all that time and all that investment into my craft and my music, why wouldn't I also do that so people could hear it, so people could experience it? Yeah. Because it's a disservice to me as a creative. It's a disservice to the music, and it's a disservice to people who would actually really enjoy the music if I didn't do that.
That's right.
And as long as that's self-sustaining and I'm able to get kind of a return on that eventually somehow, then why not? You know what I mean? I'm hoping to up my ad spend soon, just so there can be more of the new listeners and more people can enjoy my music. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do this, so people can listen to my music and maybe that song really helps somebody through that day. You know what I mean? It's not sleazy ads. It's people need this right now. You know what I mean? People need these positive vibes through vibrations. So yeah, it's been cool. That realization has taken me a long time to get to, but now that I'm there, it's self-affirming. Yeah.
I love that you just framed it that way, because I see this so much. Artists will spend $7,000 on a guitar. They'll spend $40,000 on a top name producer. They'll spend $20,000 mixing and mastering, and they'll come to me saying, my album cost $50,000. And I say, okay, well, we can do a total tune-up for $2,500. Oh, that's, whoa, too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean,
Eh,
honestly, the ratio should be whatever you put into your music, you should be able to be prepared to put at least that much amount in marketing and getting it out there to the world. That's just my
yeah.
personal opinion.
Yeah, I was mentored by T. Harv Eker years ago, and he helped a lot of people build businesses, and he would say 80/20.
80/20.
80, yeah, he would say 80% of your time building your business should be spent on marketing, promotions,
Wow.
honing a skill like you learning how to make videos, because anything that you do there is an investment in yourself. And 20% should be working in the business, which would be like, making the music. And that, you could hear, and this wasn't even a creative, there was not many people in the creative arts in this community. It was people that own businesses, and they were horrified, because the fun part is making the music, recording the music. The fun part is
Yeah.
making the donuts, baking the bread,
Right.
whatever it is. The fun part is not figuring out all of that other stuff. That can be actually super painful. How do you get your artist hat off and get your marketing, promotions, discovery hat on? Do you feel like you're integrated, or is it a struggle to kind of shut one thing down and bring
Uh,
on the other thing?
yeah, no, that's a really good question. I think some people schedule their time like by days, like they'll have a creative day and work on my systems day and stuff like that. I just have like an hourly, so like I'm most creative either in the morning or in the evening. So I schedule right after my 3 hour morning routine. I have like an hour of just working on my music. And I schedule in co-writes pretty much every week with other artists just to keep that creativity going. Um, and then, I'll schedule in, okay, this is my 2 hour time to work on my lyric video. So I'm just, boop, that's where I'm at. So it just really depends. I'm able to kind of switch pretty quickly. I know a lot of folks aren't able to do that, and that's totally cool. And they have like total days, like Friday's my creativity day. Thursday is my me day. Like Wednesday is the day that I send out all my emails, whatever it is, whatever works for folks, I think is great.
Yeah. Yeah. So Instagram is about to cut us off. This is like the fastest 40 something minutes ever. I could talk to you for hours about your techniques, and I'm really happy to see that you're doing this. You're doing this. So for any musicians watching, I'm sure Eli would be happy to answer a DM if you wanted to shoot him a question or send it to me and I can forward it to him.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone where they can catch your next full live stream here on Instagram.
Yeah, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'll be doing a live stream here on Instagram. And if you just click the link in my bio on my Instagram, you can see my live stream schedule as well.
Thank you so much for performing your song and for your time and for your wisdom. I really appreciate you. Everybody stay safe. Everybody keep going. And I hope you found some inspiration. I know I have. You want to play us out, my friend?
Just a chord.
Lovely. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Tomorrow, Instagram Live with Kayla here at 5:30. She's going to be answering some design and marketing questions, and then back on Friday with Matt, Friday at 3. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.